What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. How did Liam and Daphne get Hope and Carter to break up? The Bold and the Beautiful gives us a hint that Liam Spencer might use dirty tactics to break up Carter Walton and Hope Logan. Will Liam work with Daphne Rose to break up the relationship between Hope and Carter? Liam has the intention of doing everything in his power to persuade Hope that he is the man for her. Of course, BNB fans know Liam is facing a challenge since Hope's already engaged to Carter. Liam will have to work harder to get the reunion he wants because Hope doesn't want to break that commitment. The closer Hope and Carter get to actually tying the knot, the more desperate Liam may become to stop this wedding. That could cause Liam to embrace his dark side and follow in Bill Spencer's footsteps. Liam has already been acting a bit manipulative by bringing Beth Spencer to the office and interrupting Hope's private time with Carter. However, if he seeks assistance from an ally, Liam risks taking things to the next level of deceit. Daphne wants Carter for herself, so she might be an interesting scheming partner for Liam. Could Liam go as far as teaming up with Daphne so that everyone can get what they want? Liam might decide that Daphne is a far better match for Carter than Hope is. Anyone that can get Carter away from Hope will be a good option in Liam's mind. Liam might tell himself that it'll all work out in the end if Daphne steals Carter and makes him happy. Liam could console Hope over the breakup and reassure her that they were meant to be. Whatever the case, we could imagine Liam giving Daphne a push to seduce Carter. There might even be some sort of setup where Hope walks in on a scandalous cheating scene. Naturally, a scenario like that could backfire on Liam if he's not careful. Hope would feel some good angst if she found out that Liam had manipulated the situation, which she would not like. According to the Bold and the Beautiful, no matter how things turn out, Liam, Hope, Carter, and Daphne will all become involved in more and more drama. Liam Spencer had never been a man who took pleasure in witnessing the love of his life in another's arms. Yet since Hope Logan accepted Carter Walton's proposal, his world had transformed into an unfamiliar place. As the days passed, his desperation to reclaim what he believed was his destiny intensified, for Hope was his true north, his eternal anchor. No passage of time or change in circumstance could erase the shared history, the vows exchanged, the child they cherished in Beth Spencer, and the countless nights he had comforted her through every storm. Yet now, here she was radiant in Carter's embrace, showcasing her new engagement ring as if Liam were merely a forgotten remnant of her past. He found it unbearable, especially since his heart continued to beat solely for her. Each smile she bestowed upon Carter felt like a dagger to his soul. Thus, the man who had always strived to maintain the moral high ground, who once took pride in being just and honorable, began to entertain the shadows, considering manipulations and strategies he would have previously condemned, much like his father Bill Spencer had often done in pursuit of love and power. This troubling descent accelerated further with the arrival of Daphne Rose. For Daphne was not merely another woman on the outskirts of Forrester Creations, she was daring, ambitious, and alluring. And quietly burning with desire for Carter, although she concealed it beneath layers of professionalism, Liam had observed how her gaze lingered on the COO, how she flushed when Carter brushed past her in the design office, how her tone softened when she uttered his name, and in that glimmer, Liam perceived an opportunity, a means to finally breach the fortress that Hope and Carter had constructed around themselves. A method to instill doubt, temptation, betrayal, and ultimately downfall, and while he was aware of the risks associated with colluding with someone like Daphne, the allure of having an ally who desired Carter as fervently as he desired Hope was too enticing to ignore. Thus Liam approached her one late evening when the Forrester offices were shrouded in silence, and beneath the illumination of desk lamps, he shared his torment, his frustration, his unwavering love for Hope, and Daphne, with her. Dark eyes sparkling like a conspirator's flame, confessed that she too was suffering in silence, longing to have Carter in her embrace, enraged that he had chosen Hope over her when she could offer him passion, loyalty, and devotion devoid of the complications of Liam Spencer and a little girl, and in that instant, two wounded souls discovered alignment, and thus their pact was established. A perilous dance of manipulation and deceit that would escalate into one of the most astonishing schemes Los Angeles had ever witnessed, for Liam had pledged to undermine Hope's faith, while Daphne committed to infiltrating Carter's life through seduction and determination. Together, they crafted a narrative of inevitability, suggesting that Carter and Hope were destined for failure, not due to fate, but because they would bring it about themselves. Soon, the games commenced with subtle maneuvers, Liam orchestrating chance meetings with Hope that compelled Carter to bide his time, appearing with Beth at inopportune moments, utilizing his daughter's innocent smile as a barrier between the two lovers, and persistently reminding Hope of the family they once had. Meanwhile, Daphne adopted a different strategy, opting for closeness and allure, lingering outside Carter's office under the pretense of work, brushing against his arm for just a moment too long, allowing her laughter to resonate in his mind, and sowing seeds of intrigue that no man, not even the disciplined Carter Walton, could entirely dismiss. As the weeks progressed, the fractures began to manifest, with Hope becoming increasingly flustered by Liam's incessant presence, feeling guilty when she found herself reminiscing about their shared past, and growing irritated when Carter accused Liam of overstepping boundaries, yet unable to completely sever ties with her ex-husband due to Beth. Carter, in turn, began to feel the pressure of being engaged to a woman who appeared conflicted, especially as Daphne's charm whispered to him like a siren song. Then came the night when Liam and Daphne escalated the stakes. Crafting a scheme that would irrevocably change the trajectory of their lives, Liam proposed that if Hope were to witness something that shattered her trust in Carter, she might reconsider her engagement. Daphne, with a cunning smile, consented to be the catalyst for Carter's ruin, orchestrating a situation that blurred the boundaries between coincidence and entrapment. It was a night filled with wine and solace in Carter's loft after a long day, where Daphne pretended to be vulnerable about her solitude and her unfulfilled longing for love. Carter, ever the gentleman, attempted to comfort her, but Daphne, unyielding, leaned in closer, allowing her lips to hover near his, softly whispering his name as if it were a plea. Just as she brushed her lips against his, the door swung open, revealing Hope, who stood frozen in disbelief. Liam had ensured her arrival at that precise moment under the guise of surprising her fiancé. Although Carter immediately recoiled, insisting that nothing had occurred, the image of him in Daphne's embrace was indelibly etched in Hope's memory. Tears streamed down her face as betrayal suffocated her, for she had fought valiantly to believe she was his one true love, and now she felt utterly foolish. Liam, ever the comforter, swooped in to console her, holding her close as she wept, whispering that she deserved better, that she deserved someone who had always wanted her and no one else, someone like him. Though Hope initially resisted, clinging to her anger and disbelief, the weeks of pressure, manipulation, and the seeds of doubt that Liam had sown began to take root. Eventually, her engagement crumbled under the burden of mistrust, her heart breaking as she returned the ring to Carter, who was both devastated and enraged, oblivious to the strings being pulled behind the scenes, unaware that Daphne had executed her role with precision and that Liam had orchestrated every aspect of the downfall. However, fate in Los Angeles was never straightforward. Despite Liam's belief that victory was assured and that Hope would inevitably return to him, there remained the unsettling possibility of truth that Hope might eventually discover the conspiracy, that Carter could connect the dots between Daphne's abrupt interest and Liam's timely support, and that the entire plan could unravel disastrously. Yet, in that moment, as Hope nestled into Liam's embrace and tearfully expressed her uncertainty about ever trusting again, he offered her a faint smile, assuring her that trust was unnecessary with him, the man who had always stood by her side. Meanwhile, in the shadows, Daphne wore a satisfied smirk, aware that she had finally made her move on Carter, thus setting the stage for further drama, betrayals, and the intricate complications that only the bold and the beautiful could provide. Liam and Daphne had committed the unthinkable. They had separated Hope and Carter, but whether they could endure the repercussions of their own schemes remained uncertain, for love achieved through deception seldom comes without a heavy toll. As the credits rolled on yet another shocking week in Los Angeles, viewers were left breathless, pondering how long Liam and Daphne could conceal their dark alliance before the truth inevitably shattered their world once again.